What is up, guys? Eric here with Team Eccentric, and quite a few things have changed in our current format. So recently there was a ban list, as we all know, and certain cards got banned that I'm both happy and sad about. So, we all know that Bahamut Shark and Abyss Dweller both got banned, which has both good and bad implications for the Mermail deck. So Bahamut Shark obviously means that we have less ability to make negates early on in our turns and in our combo lines, and then Abyss Dweller being banned means that we subsequently can't play Dweller, which is a bit of a hindrance, but also we don't have to face Dweller, which is a big boon for the deck. So, the deck has evolved just a smidge, and there are very bad, I guess I would say, rank 4 options that you could play. Some people are playing the Magic Key Vespartu rank 4, which gets you a search for a level 4 or higher normal monster. So you could like search things like 7 Colored Fish or Space Mambo, which I see some value in, but I just think that like that, it constitutes more bricks to the deck, which I don't want to do. So this is my current Mermail list as of, when I post this. The deck, it still functions, it still does rather well. I just don't think it's going to be like any kind of top tier, meta-defining strategy as it was last format. Last format, if you normal summoned an Neptibus, you could hear a collective groan from the entire locals at the moment everybody knows you're on Mermail. So first I'm going to start off with engine, then I'll go through non-engine, then I'll go through extra things. So starting it off, obligatory, we play the triple Neptibus. We all know what it does. Send one Atlantean, add one Atlantean. Basically gets the entire deck running. Triple Atlantean Dragoons. Effectively, more copies of Neptibus. When you send this for cost, it searches other Sea Serpents. Triple Abyss Ryan, the Atlantean Spirit. This gets you into your level 7s. Any fish, aqua, or sea serpents. You just tribute a Mermail from your hand or field. Then we play 2 Poseidra, the Storming Atlantean. You could make an argument for 1 and play like another non-engine card, or maybe even a different level 3 target so that you could search off a pike. But to be honest with you, I think 2 is fine. You see it when you want to see it, you don't see it when you don't. Then 1 heavy infantry. I can't wait for my QCR to come in. Right now I'm playing the Collector's Rare from the last set, Maze of the Master, which, to be honest with you, is kind of a weird thing. They reprinted heavy infantry as a Collector's Rare in that set, and then they reprinted it again, literally not even a month later in Quarter Century Stampede, which, by the way, is easily one of the best sets to date. But all beside the point. So yeah, this is the Atlantean lineup. Pretty standard. Then for the Mermails, triple Mermail Abyss. We all know what it does. Discard 1 water, special summon. If it's special summon that way and it hits the field, you can search for a level 4 lower Mermail, which namely would be your Shadow Squad. Shadow Squad sent to the grave, we all know what it does. Special summon a level 4 lower Mermail Atlantean from the deck. Then triple Pike, which I can't wait for the QCRs for this as well. I got 2 more coming in, and that'll basically make the deck really nice, really shiny. But yeah, we all know what Pike does. The reason why I'm playing the 3 Pikes, I'm still playing the Coelacanth. I feel like, as much as I hate to admit it, the Synchro engine is kind of the best way to play this deck, even though I think Synchro's kind of underutilized Atlantean Dragoon search capabilities. But, all beside the point. Then for, that's it for the Mermails. And then for the 1 of waters, for the randoms, we got 1 Moon Glacier. We're still trying to hand loop. Opponent doesn't deserve to play, so you just take their hand away and then they can't play. 1 Coelacanth, do all the fish plays. 1 Barrier Statue. Last format, I made the argument that, maining Barrier Statue isn't very good because you never know if your opponent is on Mermail, and Mermail was a very represented deck last format. But now, I think people are probably going to shy away from Mermail just a little bit. You'll still get the the people who are passionate about the deck, But I feel like you know, Barrier Statue is really good going first, and then you can just side it out. It makes an easy side out for siding patterns in games 2 and 3. Then, last but not least, 1 Deep Sea Minstrel, because you're trying to rip cards, and then 1 of the Gluttonous Reptolfin Greethus. Now, I liked this card before, but I didn't play it. I was playing Gun because it was a 1-card combo with Neptibus that gets you the whole board. But now, with Bahamut Shark and Toad being out of the deck, I feel like this is a little bit more relevant. Also, I only play 1 Minstrel as opposed to 3, because you know, this deck is trying to combo off, and you know, seeing multiple Minstrels doesn't really you know, contribute to that. However, there is a case to be made that 3 Minstrel is probably the way to go nowadays, because of the fact that you know, with Called By at 1. Triple Tactics Talent at 1 and Cross-Out Designator at 1, you want to rip hand traps as soon as possible. But I feel like in this deck, you're seeing Minstrel as soon as you summon Neptibus. As long as your Dragoons resolves, you're seeing Minstrel. So like, why bother playing the extra bricks if it's unnecessary? So that's it for the monsters in the engine. Oh, Greethus is actually a crazy card, by the way. I'll explain what it does. So what it does is, while it's on the field, you can target 1 fish, aqua, or sea serpent monster in your grave that has a level less than or equal to the amount of cards in your opponent's hand when you activate this effect, and special summon that card from your grave. Also, it has an effect that if it uses the Synchro material and sent to the graveyard, you can make that Synchro monster gain 200 attack points for each card in your opponent's hand at the time of its Synchro summon. So like, you can chain block your White Aura Monoceros, which is what you'll generally be summoning with this. So it's pretty good. Then from there, we have 1 spell and 1 trap in the engine, so we have 1 equipped spell. I feel like this card is more prevalent than ever. You really want to see this. You know, it gets you recurability with your, or recursion rather, with your Mermail and Atlantean cards. And it just allows you to like loop things back and just like make even stronger boards by reborning things and looping things back, and also protecting cards as well, which is a very undervalued effect, but it can come up. And then last but not least is 1 Virtue Stream. I am in fact playing the Virtue Stream engine in this build because of the fact that we don't have Toad. We need things to end on, and unfortunately, with Toad not being in the deck anymore, that's just the way to go, in my opinion. So that's it for the engine. Now we'll go to the non-engine. So the non-engine was cut down by 3 cards, or 2 cards. Yeah, 2 cards. I was playing 14 non-engine before the ban list. Now I'm playing 12 because you want to see as much engine as possible, and also pair it with non-engine. Whereas last format, you know, Neptibus was 1-card combo. This format, in order to make Neptibus really effective, you have to have multiple. You have to have at least 2 cards, including the Neptibus and like a water, or Neptibus and another Atlantean or Mermail, to make the deck really function to its highest capability. So the non-engine I'm playing is triple Molcharmi Perulia. You know, it's a water hand trap. It doesn't get any better than that. Then triple Ash Blossom. I do have the playset of Fabulosis. I just pulled another secret rare from the Quarter Century Bonanza, which is amazing. But yeah, so I do have the Fabulosis, but they're in the side deck, which I won't be profiling. The only reason why they're in the side deck is because I don't agree with going above 40. I am staunchly against going above 40 unless you play a deck that calls for it. And I don't think this deck necessarily calls for that. I feel like you can get away with 40. I mean, you could even cut cards from your main deck, like if you really wanted to. Like if I really wanted to, I could cut the Abyss Sting, the Virtue Stream, and the probably the second Poseidra, and play the 3 Folos in the main. But yeah, I feel like, you know, this is the best way to function with the deck. But then for other non-engine, like I said before, the Molcharmies are only as good as the hand traps you draw with them, as well as, you know, drawing a bunch of engine and whatnot as well. But, you know, in my opinion, you know, it's best if you're going to Molcharmy that you have more like bombs to drop on your opponent that you're drawing into with the Mulch Armies, which I've done countless times. So I do main the triple Dominus Impulse, which doesn't affect Mermail in any way, and then the triple Infinite Impermanence to have target negation as well. So that is it for the main deck. It's a total of 40 cards, only 40. It's the only respectable number in Mermail in my opinion. Then we'll go into the extra deck. So we are playing the one Mermail King Naptibus. Obviously we know what it does. The waters it points to can't be targeted by card effects, or by your opponent's card effects specifically. Also, if a water is sent to the grave to activate another water monster's effect while this is on the field, you can either add or equip one Abyss equip spell from the deck or grave. So that's really good. And then if it's destroyed by battle card effect, you add one Atlantean or Mermail from your deck to your hand. So then we play the one Mermail Abyssalacia. I've gone over what this card does a ton of times. I've been playing this deck since Naptibus, so Mermail Abyssalacia is a welcome addition. One Marincess Coral Anemone. With Toad being banned, or Bahamut Shark being banned, and Toad coming out of the deck, I thought about playing two of this, but honestly, I don't see a point. You're trying to end the game as soon as possible, so having another one for follow-up could be relevant, but you're just trying to combo as soon as possible and end your opponent's entire career right there. Then one Abyss Keeper. My only argument for Abyss Keeper is that if you draw the Coelacanth, you want to get it out of your hand without wasting too many resources. And there are ways to get Coelacanth on the board without the Abyss Keeper, even if you draw it. Like you can ditch it with a Teus, make the Abyss Trite, and then summon back the Coelacanth. But honestly, Abyss Keeper is probably the best way. Plus, it also can be spot removal when you need to banish a card. So that is relevant. So that's it for the links. Then the Xyz, one Poseidro. This card is absolutely nuts. I love this card. One Gaios and one Abyss Trite. These are all your Mermail / Atlantean Xyz monsters. Abyss Trite is basically a monster reborn that also gives attack points for each material it has, times 300. And also, if you're playing the Abyss team, you can detach a material from it and then set an Abyss spell or trap card from your deck, but I don't think that effect is relevant. It's just the reborn and the attack points that are relevant. Gaios, we all know what it does. It's a walking skill drain that also prevents both players from attacking with level 5 or higher monsters. And then we have the Poseidro, which is a non-target, bounce 3, and if it's sent to the graveyard, you can discard a card from your hand to the graveyard as cost to special summon 3 level 3 or lower fish, aqua, or sea serpents from your hand to grave. So this contributes to a lot of combos as well as clearing boards. Then our replacements for Bahamut Shark, which are very sad replacements, but at least playable replacements nonetheless. Snow Dust Giant. This card is literally just there so you can trigger your Dragoon searches. But it also does reduce attack points, so in the event that you're trying to OTK, this can come up. But generally, you're going to be using this to just get Dragoon searches. And then the last Xyz monster is the one, the Virtue Dragon, which both searches your Virtue Stream and adds back a water, or can attach a material from one water to another, or from one Xyz to another. The thing about Snow Dust Giant is the way it reduces attack points, by the way, is you detach material from it as cost, then you reveal as many water monsters in your hand as you want, and then you put ice counters on any monster on the field based on the amount of waters you revealed in your hand, and then your opponent's monsters lose attack points times 200 per monster you revealed. So that's how you can if your hand is huge, you can get it up to like 1,000, 1,200 attack points that your opponent's monsters lose, and then just OTK them right there. So that's it for the Xyz monsters, and then last but not least for the Synchro package, which has grown quite significantly. So we're playing one Ice Jade Ranazarine, or Gymir Azurine rather. We all know what this does. I've been playing this card since it came out. It's a protection from both effect destruction and banishment, as well as if you respond to your opponent's card effects with that effect, it can banish all copies of the card that you responded to from your opponent's field and grave. Also, if it's in the graveyard and your opponent banishes a card, you can just special summon it. So that's pretty relevant because it can just keep recurring itself. One Trishula. Trishula is probably a flex spot, I would say, but I like the Trishula because if you are looking at your opponent's hand and you realize your opponent has board breakers rather than hand traps, you just hand loop the shit out of your opponent and just rip everything away from their hand. That way, even if you don't manage to rip the board breaker, there's no effective way for them to crack through your field, even if they negate stuff with like a dark ruler or a droplet. So there's that. One Deep Sea Prima Donna, that's for both rank 7 or for rank 7 plays, as well as to summon the barrier statue. And also there are lines where you can actually hand loop your opponent using this by shuffling back a card you banish with either Trishul or Minstrel, which I've done multiple times. So I mean, I've been playing this card for years. I didn't play it in my last few lists, but like I played it before the new support came out. Years ago, like 2 years ago, I was doing barrier statue lock before it was cool. So, card is pretty nuts. Then for the last 2 synchros, it's the fish stuff, White Aura Monoceros, which allows you to, when it's synchro summon, special summon a level or any fish monster from your grave. Also, that monster can't attack its turn. And then it has the standard other effects of White Aura stuff, but you're only using it really for the reborn effects. Same with White Aura Porpoise, but White Aura Porpoise has a little bit more tangible value, where if it's synchro summoned, you can target a level 4 lower fish monster in your grave, special summon it, and then if you have other copies of that same card in your grave, you can special summon another copy of that card. So we all know the target would be Pike. You synchro into this, you have 2 Pikes in grave, you special summon 1 Pike in defense position, and then it special summons another Pike in defense position. So pretty good. That's it for my Mermail deck profile. I will be doing some test hands, and I'll show you guys what this deck can do. It's very similar to what's his name, Super Insane 18's deck profile, I believe. I just have some differences with the deck, but generally speaking, it's kind of the same idea. I figure that it's either that or the Swap Frogs or the Ice Barriers, and to be honest with you, I think this is just the best way to play the deck at this point. So, like I said, keep your eyes open for some test hands coming in the future, and also I will leave a link to my skateboarding sponsor, clothing brand, etc., in the description below. So, make sure you check that out, and thanks for watching, and Eric here with Eccentric, and I'm signing up.